Alright, well. Let's get back to it. And yeah, note down here whenever you load a game, you get a tip, so. If you use the roving clan DFuxa within the same region, your extractions and walk sprint towers will also be preserved. You have to play the rolling clans to know what that tip's all about, but more or less, useful tip. I guess. Alright, well, for the first episode I won 10 turns. Let's see if I can go a little bit longer than that with this one. Alright, let's go over here. So, I've got the pink guy who's basically the Allayi, I guess. I click here, they basically pop up. The other guys are still unknown, but this guy's now here. So Allayi. I don't know why you're giving the hero name, but whatever. Leader name. Let's walk down here. Here's some Ursus, which are basically orcs. Now, I'll note at this point, I could basically start talking to every village and parlaying with them and all that. And this guy's apparently got a skyfin over here. But basically, something to note is that because this territory is all over here, if I decided to pacify this territory, it actually probably benefit this guy more than me because he could sell this area and get a free pacified village as a result. So, it's not always a good idea to basically parlay with certain places when you don't have the benefit to basically parlay with them. And yeah, I'll note that this guy, he's basically got a quest that gives him a free unit. This Skyfin here. And maybe I'll put this here. So, something to note, by the way, is that in this game, you don't actually sort of expand your cities by growing your population, but rather by building borough streets or other expansion improvements. Basically, how this game works, you essentially expand over terrain, and essentially you build up your population. You can build more of these expansions. This will basically reduce my approval rating, as you can see there, but it'll basically give me essentially more resources when I basically develop this. So basically, if I put this here, I'll basically gain 3 more resources as a result of building this. That can be a really good way of building up your cities and improving them. Now, I should be building a cellar soon, but we're going to do that first. And oh boy, there's someone over here apparently. So there's another guy over here. Who is he? I see burning villages. That's not usually a good sign. There's a Haunts there. There's Sisters of Mercy there. Whose territory am I in? And looking at this, I may want to grab this territory over here at some point, since it's bordering the Allayi and this guy over here now. But we'll see. So someone's already expanding quite a bit. This green guy over here. Let's go over here and get this first, I guess. There's that guy's hero again. An Empire plan. Okay, so a new Empire plan will be unlocked in 6 turns. Save some influence points if you intend to implement critical policies. We'll get to that in a few turns. Alright, who is this? Oh, it's a Drakken guy. Hello, Drakken guy. So this is apparently his territory here. So I don't know where this guy is. Basically, he would have seen me at the start, but now basically he's like, you know, expanding over here apparently. Let's just get out of his territory, Dan. I'm not gonna worry about him. Alright, so new quest added to Second Mouse. You were following indications drawn from local legends that spoke of loot, treasure, and heavily guarded ruins. It seems, however, that someone else is beating you to the booty. So follow the tracks of the creatures that pillage your lands. One of the armies in your den is treasure that you seek. Find the army, defeat it, and make your booty yours. So apparently there's an army over here in this guy's territory. I won't worry about that, I don't think. So I better watch out for this guy. He's basically got, you know, his guys here, Drakklings. He's actually going to be a lot stronger than me at the moment, just because, like, I've only got one guy here with my hero. So I have to watch out for him. But yeah, he's basically close by. Over here. Now, I'll note, by the way, that some races in this game, or factions, they prioritize expansion a lot more than others. The Allayi over here, for example, they don't really expand as much because they basically have negative results as a result of expansion. Drakklings, they expand quite a bit, so they'll expand quite a bit when they get the chance. Vaulters, like me, I can expand if I want to, but, well, it really is one of those things. I can actually expand if I want to, but it can also be beneficial not to expand. It really depends on what I'm doing. Walk over here, I guess. Because this guy's so close, I'm actually going to use this function here, which basically, next turn when I press this arrow, it's basically going to cause this guy to automatically move over here, regardless of what this guy's doing. Basically, this feature lets you move your guys, depending on, like, you know, where they are. And he just crushed this area over here, apparently. Took a little bit of damage doing it, but the Alice ones basically just got crushed. But yeah, basically, this is like an auto move function. This game's played in real time, right? So, if this guy's like got an army here and I've got an army there, if I want to, like, you know, avoid his combat, it's good to like move right at the start of the turn instead of like waiting. So that's what I did there. I just moved real quick. You know, looking at this territory, it's not that great a territory. It's only got one titanium in it. It's got a couple, you know, Sarturian villagers in it, but I already filled that quest to do it for them. I might try and capture his territory down here because it's right next to this guy, and that might be good to do. So you're a dignified and peaceful leader. It is our hope that your wisdom will be taken as an example by other nations. So, much like in Civilization 5, sometimes you get these like little like pop-ups that basically, you know, don't really mean anything. Sometimes they mean something, but in this case this doesn't mean anything, so whatever. Now, when I get a chance, I want to buy a hero. And who to buy? We'll see. I'll go into like the heroes you can get later, but for now, let's do some more research, I guess. It'd probably benefit me to get the Alchemist's Furnace now, I think. What are you gonna do? You're walking around somewhere else. Good. Let's move my guy over here. Now, because it's ruined, it doesn't really matter when I get to it, because this guy can like already loot it. It doesn't really matter if I have to be there first. I'm actually going to take this opportunity maybe to do some more exploration. So, like, see what's around the borders of this guy's territory. And I might come over here and capture this territory of a settler. When I'm basically done with, like, the borough here. Let's actually do this right now so I build a borough a little bit further. You can basically move around your population to do, like, different resource gathering stuff. So, you can, like, prioritize food if you want to, or, you know, industry, science, dust, all that sort of stuff. Influence. Right now I'm going to prioritize industry so I can get more, you know, construction done for that. Borough Street. Alright, how about you go up here? And then we'll go back down here. I just wanted to see what this, like, you know, territory around here would be on the hill. But it's nothing special by the looks of it. Alright, so now note that because I built this burrow street on like an emerald source, I'm actually getting a freely emerald extractor. This is a nice thing about like building like expansion improvements like this. You can actually get like, you know, the resource underneath your like expansions if they're like if there's a resource under it. I could have built an emerald extractor there instead, but it's just better to build a burrow street anyways, just because I'm gonna have to expand anyways at some point. So just do it now. And I think at this point it'd be wise to build a settler. So let's get one of those up. Note that when you build a settler, it cancels all food production, so that's gone. And apparently they crushed the Isles village over there. The Drakken did. Here's the capital, by the way. You can tell because it's got like a sort of like, you know, king thing on it. So there's like my capital, there's his capital. This is his capital province right here. Much like this is his capital province over there. Now, note by the way that if you want to infiltrate a city, you actually have to essentially be able to see it with like you know, some line of sight of some sort. So I can infiltrate this city, but basically I can only do that if I basically have a visual range on it. And I still can't get a hero. I need to get more money for this stuff, apparently. I either need to get 320 gold for some of this stuff, or 300 gold for some of this other stuff. Oh, another, well, just the money I need. Alright, well. So, I'll note, by the way, that this thing here, whenever this pops up, this means you get an empire plan. Every 20 turns, you basically can, like, sort of, like, decide a little bit about how, like, your empire functions. And it's basically done with this empire plan development. Depending on the area you're in, so, like, you know, area 1, 2, 3, 4, you can basically unlock, like, different, like, you know, things that basically help you out. So I can get more science, I could get more money, I could get more vision, I can get more, like, you know, cost reduction units. All this other stuff you can basically do. Starting off now, I think let's build a little bit more dust, so we'll do that. I could go for science, but I'm going to go for dust because it basically means more income. And I can get a hero now. So here's something to note. Basically, you basically want to sort of like plan, like, you know, to get heroes at some point in this game. And it's actually good to do so really early because then you can like benefit yourself by having like a super powerful hero by like the end game. This hero here, I'm sort of specking her to be like a military commander type of you know, hero. So we're gonna try and get maybe someone to govern here. And there's several like different heroes I basically have access to here, but I can basically show off. So let's just go through them. Basically, in this game, all the different factions have like their own heroes that they can use, and these like heroes like all have like different like, you know, specs, I would say, for how they basically operate. And depending on like what's going on, kind of like in like endless space, you basically have like exclusive heroes that you can basically hire, and then the rest are like free to hire for anyone else. I'll note that in this list, by the way, we basically have 4 infantry heroes, 4 archer heroes, and 2 support heroes. I don't think you can have cavalry type heroes or flying heroes. And essentially, what these like classes do, to basically define like how like your you know, they basically how your hero will basically operate in battle and all that stuff. What type of like, you know, skills they can basically purchase themselves. All these guys are level 1, so it doesn't really matter what level they are. Some of these guys are exclusive, so they're a little bit cheaper than the other ones, but just because something's cheaper doesn't mean you should probably hire it. Sometimes it's better to get one of these guys down here. Like, for example, this lore master here, he might be really worth getting. Or just, like, you know, Ardent Mage. And you know, maybe it'd probably be a good idea to basically show a little bit about like the different factions and such. So this guy here is like a cultist hero. If I look at him, you'll basically see that he's basically an infantry type hero. He's basically part of the faction cultist. If you look at his faction tree, he's basically got like, you know, cultist faction like traits, and he's also got infantry hero type of traits as well. So here's like some of the infantry hero stuff. Basically, you have like more defense on the hero, more life on units, extra accessory slot, more defense on units, reinforcement positions. That's actually really good if you're going to be having like multiple armies, and ice and veins basically gives immunity moving to winter basically stuff. You'll learn about that in a bit. On the faction side for cultists, they basically have like these things that help improve city governing. So basically, this is like, you know, fairly good. It's got a fairly good mix of like city stuff, especially this one if you're going for influence. And I'll note, by the way, something I know about each of these heroes, they basically sort of like have traits that are sort of geared to sort of help their faction. So with cultists, they actually really value influence, so they actually have like an influence boost on their hero here. If I was to go after the Ardent Mage over here, which is basically a support hero for like the Ardent Mages, she's actually a little bit different in that she's like more like science oriented. So she's got like science here, attacks on units, attack on hero, expansionist approval, and science. Basically, you know, expansionist boost science and like, you know, this stuff here, and then of course the support stuff. Here's some of the stuff that support can do. They basically give defense on units, reinforcement positions, attacks on units, initiative, life, and extra slot. So if you're going for like a army support, this is, you know, support heroes are pretty good for it, by the way. And I'll note, by the way, because she's support, she actually like has like supporting abilities, so she can actually buff up your other heroes, so basically they can get like more attacks. So basically she uses this in like a battle turn. She can actually boost up your fellow like units to basically get more damage and such. And apparently she's fast, so she gets one extra battle movement in battle. She also has a debuff effect when she uses on like enemy units, by the way. So if she's attacking enemy units, she basically would slow it down. Alright, so I'll note that of these heroes here, I'm kind of partial to any hero that's going to like sort of benefit me in the long run. And for like, you know, right now, that might be something like the Necrophage hero right here. So Necrophages are basically this faction that basically sort of like, you know, prioritizes growth. And like basically this guy's faction stuff, he basically has stuff that gets you more food, and like unit cost reduction, health regen on like, you know, your army, food, attack on hero, and then like, you know, more health regen. Basically it's got like these like, you know, these thing here, this, and this, and they're all really good for getting you like more efficient city production. They basically make really effective governors, these guys. And they also have like food boost here, so basically if governor, you get more like food as a result of having a Necrophage in your city. Now, if one was in here, I would like an elf type of hero. There's basically these heroes like from like Wood Elf faction, and basically, I'll note, by the way, it doesn't matter if the faction's in the game or not. If like, you know, you're playing in the game, any like type of hero, like, let's put it this way. If I only put, so there's 8 Vaulter factions in the game, all these guys could possibly pop up. It doesn't matter what faction the heroes are in the marketplace here, any faction can pop up. And one of the types of like faction heroes that are really great early on is actually Wood Elf. I think it is, or it's basically an elf type of unit. They're basically really good at production, so they can like build stuff really fast. But yeah, I'm gonna basically get Strike's Fire here because he's really good for building like, you know, food. So yeah, buy him. And note, by the way, because I just bought that guy, all these prices went up. Basically, as you use the marketplaces, like, you know, for like stuff like this and stuff like, you know, this and stockpiles and other stuff, eventually, it actually gets pricier to buy more heroes in the marketplace. So it does benefit you early on, because as time progresses and as like, you know, the game progresses, more of these guys get bought, and like more time will make this like get more pricey. So it basically gets more pricey to buy heroes in the long run. All right, we're gonna assign this guy here a new Necrophage hero. And by the way, he's got like 6 upkeep and dust, but whatever. He can go right there. Now I'm going to lose a little bit of dust here, but this guy's going to pay off in spades because he'll basically help my food production quite a bit in the long run, after like the settler's done. It might have actually benefited me to wait until the settler was built, but whatever. He'll actually get experience for having the settlers built. How governors work, by the way, they actually get more experience when stuff is built in cities. So if I was to build multiple units in a city, the necrophage will level up really quickly. If I'm building a settler, it's going to build it, make it go up that, that fast anyways. And apparently someone's gone to Era 2, so basically just wonders in the world. And as you go to new eras, you can build new legendary buildings. So these are like, the things you can get. And just like challenges sometimes you can go after as well. So there's like the warrior's warrior. So be the first to attack and defeat at least 10 hours in other empires in order to gain this reward. Markets basically gain 2,000 influence from the beginning of the game in order to gain this reward. And Baron of Industry. Be the first to build a legendary building in order to benefit from unique effects. Other empires will get a refund on their investment when they try and build it. Alright, let's see here. Another minor faction, there's the Delvers. They're basically dwarves. Alright. Built my settler. We got a little bit more science to do. I basically have to get one more science in order to get to next tier of technology. So let's go with Empire Mint for more production. You can walk up over here. I'll get 10 wine. I can use that right now to basically there's like these luxury boosters. How this game works, kind of like Civilization 5, there's like these sort of like luxury resources that you can use to boost up your approval rating or other stuff. So emeralds here will basically boost up your fortification, give you a fortification boost plus a little bit of approval. Wine just gives you full approval, so I could put this on. And as a result, this town's basically going to have a lot higher, it's basically fervent. So I get basically more food and more technology or industry and other stuff basically for this guy's being really happy, these citizens now. And let's just get these settlers to start going down here now. I'm going to try and grab this region before this guy can grab it so I can lock off the regions over here. Because this guy's more prone to expand than the guy up there, so let's just do that. I think I'm going to build right here. Or maybe down here. Let's move over here for now. You guys can just move down in this direction. And over here, let's start getting some glass steel over here so you can get that resource pumping out. I'll build a public library so I can get more science output. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Now, I'm losing lots of money here because I bought this hero, so stuff I'm going to do right now is going to start putting a little bit of dust over here so I can get more dust. Essentially, you can spread up your guys so you can get like dust here and like industry there and whatever else you need to do. I was looking at the information down here, by the way. There's actually some information to note down here, so I'll basically note that, I guess, right now, I guess. So, down here, your like end turn button, it basically gives you all this information. As you can see, sort of like down here, you can basically see, the different players. So, like, there's like the Allayi right there. There's the Vaulters, they're me. There's the Drakken. And then there's like all the other guys who I don't know, they're unknown at the moment. Basically, if you hover over the button, it gives you like a detailed list of what's going on, like your other faction guys. These buttons down here to basically turn on hex grids or FIDS, depending on what you're looking for. But really, what's worth knowing is this little bit of information right here. In this game, there's basically two seasons. There's basically the summer season and the winter season. and it'll essentially, in winter, it'll basically cause you to basically have negative effects. So you'll basically have like slower movement, you'll have like, less production. When that happens and winter's about to happen, it really does cause like a bit of a difference to like your game, depending on who you are. The Allayis don't really like care if winter's hitting them or not, but other factions they care a lot, and I'm actually about to take like negative money hit because like this and all our stuff. You'll actually see when winter hits in a few turns what's going to happen. Alright, you're going to get more movement, I think. Some more movement on you. And this, I think what we're going to do right here, we're actually going to go over here to these guys. I'm just going to parlay with them and see what they want, because they're really far away from Drakken. Alright, so everybody in this village seems to be giving orders and claiming some fancy title. Finally, one of them comes forward and states that if you bring them enough dust, they will put aside their difference and follow your banners. While it seems a bit too chaotic to be a reliable tip, you have nothing else to go on, and the village would be a useful ally. Alright, so, to pacify the Delvers and Lure, collect enough dust to buy the allegiance and cohesion of this augmented people. Now, I'll note that this is going to result in some pacification, this is going to result in me gaining some influence, but this is actually a fairly good deal usually, so let's just do this. Whoops, I don't have the dust, so we can't actually do anything about this just yet, but I might go try and parlay with these guys in the future, we'll see. Let's walk over here a little bit. We'll get my sellers to all move down here a little bit. You know, I've yet to actually pick a holy resource. That's something that Vultures can do. I never actually played the Vultures, by the way, so bear with me while I figure things out. So by clicking on a strategic resource stock in your choice, you will elect to be your holy resource. This locks special actions and buildings blessing on your faction affinity. I'll have to read up on this a little bit, but we'll basically have to look into like holy resources for the Vultures eventually. Oh, look at that, we got some Tuttites over here. So basically here's like sort of like the barbarian nature of these guys coming to light. So these guys, they're basically like the like two-handed werewolves is what they are. They wield crossbows and are fairly deadly in melee. And essentially how modern villages work, they'll basically spawn units like this every so often. They have to basically, deal with or, get overrun by. Alright, I'm gonna go over here. I'm trying to figure out where I'm gonna build for this. And something I'm thinking about doing, I don't want to build next to a mountain because it doesn't actually give you any fids for like, mountain terrain. But I could build down here, and that might be beneficial, I guess. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to go like this. Let's go over there, I think. So it'll take a couple turns, but I'm going to build a village right here. They're moving over there, apparently. There's another Delver village up here, apparently. Let's move over here a little bit. Wow, this is a fairly big terrain over here. Very long, at least. You know what? Let's go over here. I'm going to build the sewer system for more approval, I guess. And there's winter. Winter has started. The dark season has begun. In winter, life and movement are more difficult. So basically, season effects. Units basically have half their movement speed, you lose 1 industry, food, and dust on, like, you know, terrain. And basically, you lose 1 vision on all, like, your stuff. And there's the altar of Aruga over here. Basically, like, you know, this is sort of important because basically, this is more important for the Allayi faction, really. Basically, what's going on is that there's, like, these, like, pearls popping up now. We're just gonna build this right here. So there's like my second city. You'll notice how it like engulfs this region down here. And I did that pretty much to lock this guy off from like this land over here I'm in. Start building that right there. Notice I'm losing money in the winter season here. And you'll also notice that over here we basically have like, you know, basically turns that'll be in winter. So I have 1 to 13 turns that the winter will be upon me. Let's have you go over here. I'm basically picking up pearls, by the way. Pearls are basically used to do stuff. You can essentially like unlock blessings and other stuff with them. You can build this altar if I want to. I might build this altar at some point. We'll see. There's some dust. That's going to be helpful. I can actually probably ditch this for a little bit. Build this a little bit faster. I'm actually sort of tempted to build the Museum of Aruga over here as well, but I think I'll hold off on building that. Might build the altar of Aruga right now. I'll notice that all these territories, they basically lost their industry, so they're not as beneficial to me right now, but they will be once they, like, you know, it comes back. And let's go right here with an altar of Aruga. So I can get that going. And you can walk down here. Wow, look at all these anomalies. Something better than like having like these like, you know, approval anomalies is having like you know, anomalies like this all right next to each other. They can be really fun too. And you know what? This is probably a good stopping point for this episode. We've essentially gone like, you know, 15 more turns, and I'll basically be showing off a little bit of what winter's all about, building my second city. Now let's basically see where it goes. So I'll see you guys next time.